Some breaking news now, and we understand that the EFL will not change their decision. They will indeed, in terms of Manchester City being able to play Mark Gahey in the final. They've said, no, he will not be able to. All right, Pep Guardiola said he was going to ask the EFL. We did say earlier we did not expect that to be changed. Well, that is confirmed. We'll put that to bed right now. Mark Gahey will not be eligible for the final.
What a weird day. Like, share and subscribe. Get it done. If you've already subscribed, amazing. Turn on the bell notifications. What a weird day. And what a disgraceful thing for Pep Guardiola and for Manchester City to even push. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Genuinely. And more clips and footage. I honestly thought, when I reacted to this on Killing the Game on the Football Terrace, genuinely, my feeling was that this was Pep making a comment. I didn't realize that City was serious about making a play to have this changed. Ex-players of theirs were calling it out. Pep himself said it, and multiple City officials, ex-players, fans have repeated yeah, it's weird that he can't play. Why can't he play? It doesn't even make sense. Well, because it's the rules. Absolutely crazy. The fact this is breaking news, for me, is a bit of a madness. It goes to show the level of fear right now that Pep and Man City as a whole have towards this game. Now, I've seen City fans kind of doing up some gimmicks out there. We beat Stoke in a final in 2011. We have to do it again 15 years later. There's a lot of this bravado online right now from Manchester City supporters. Luke here putting this out. Of course, you know, obviously trying to get interactions and everything else. And there's nothing, by the way, nothing wrong with getting interactions. It's what people do on social media. So I'm not going to sit there and say he's sort of wrong for doing that, because it's a little bit of fun. But there's a lot of bravado. There's a lot of front. There's a lot of fun being had right now by City fans as they panic about playing Arsenal. And I have never seen, and if you guys have got examples that can correct me, please let me know in the comment section. And I don't tell you I take my comment section seriously. And I want to address this now as well, because I said that I would. Yes, I always get sent in clips from you all, and I respect it. Somebody I respected sent me a clipping of Jamie O'Hara and said this is him moaning about Arsenal not taking risks in the game. Now, IMA is not the person who sent me the clip's fault. It's my fault for not verifying the clip. It turned out he was talking about Chelsea. And I was sent it out of context, but I take responsibility because I shared it out of context and spoke on it out of context. Now, that doesn't undo my overarching message, the commentary, the punditry, the way CBS and Sky portrayed Arsenal on Tuesday night, for me, was an utter disgrace, was utterly shameful. But I will retract what I said in relation to Jamie O'Hara. In this particular instance, he was talking about Chelsea as opposed to talking nonsense about Arsenal. And I wanted to I wanted to address that, because I take what you guys say and think seriously. And of course, your opinion of me matters from I'm not trying to be a David Ornstein. I'm not trying to be I'm not a journalist. So I'm not trying to be credible in that way, but I want to be as upfront and honest as possible. And if I make a mistake, if I think it's a mistake, if I can see it's a mistake, I will address it. Because why? I think in the longer term, with us communicating, talking, there'll be far more credibility and trust and respect in what I do going down those lines. But it's why this whole debacle for me has been sort of really strange, that there was the treatment of Arsenal on Tuesday night, City now pushing to get the rules changed before they play Arsenal. And the bit that stands out as crazy, we can see Pep is panicking. We can see Pep is scrambling here. We know the mainstream media doesn't like Arsenal. It's the fact no one's talking about it from a Pep perspective. They're saying the EFL confirmed it won't happen. But I went through TalkSport's posts. on their website. There's articles about it, but they're buried. And what I mean is there's an article saying what he said, but there's no think pieces. There's no attack. There's no attacking him. And when I say attacking him, attacking what he's doing, not attacking him individually. You know, if Mikel Arteta, you know, when Ruben Amorim was here, if he said it, you know, if Arne Slot was saying it, the knives would be out. Daniel Craig would be here and the knives would be out. Hope you get the reference. You know it. Pep says this. I want the rules changed for my club for a final, please. And nobody seems to want to say anything. I want to go back to this. This is a clip from Shay Given from last night as well. Take a listen to this. This for me is mad.
Off point is after the first leg of the semi-final. Okay. So if you sign for a club before the first leg, and this is the first year this has happened.
This is the first year.
Yeah, the first year that you're not cup tied. Yeah.
So remember that. It's so important. This is the first time ever that you're not cup tied if you sign for a new club in January before the semi-finals are played. It's the first time ever, but there are still some rules within it where there's a deadline, but that's very important because up until this year, there was never any chance.
So if you sign for a club before the first leg of the semi-final, you can play for that club if it's your second club of the season. If you sign after the first leg of the semi-final...
I don't agree. I don't agree with the whole thing.
No, but that's the rule. If you sign after the first leg of the semi-final, you are ineligible for the second leg and also the final. That's the rule.
Mark Gay signs a week after Semenion. He can't play. So next month, Semenion get his hands on that trophy. Mark Gay, who maybe joins a week later, can't.
But there's always... Yeah, that's the rule. Up until this year, there was no way in. Up until this year, if you played if you played for any other club, you wouldn't get a medal at all. It's only been a handful of years that in Europe, you could switch to another European team in the January and play for them. But for donkey's years, you were cup tied and it was very, very normal. The only reason the City guys are saying this ain't right, this ain't fair, this shouldn't be happening is because they know they stand a much lesser chance of winning with Gahey out the team. So they should have got the deal done sooner. Everybody knows the rules.
It's I don't know how to use the word farcical, but I've used it.
Farcical. Farcical. They're saying it's farcical to follow the rules. A law was made that has enabled players that would typically be cup tied to no longer be cup tied. But there's a limit to it. You have got to have, and it makes sense, you have got to have signed for the club before the tie in the semi-finals has begun. Because the first leg is half-time. At the end of the first leg, it's half-time in the tie. You've got to be a registered player for that club before that round begins. Now, could they make a bylaw that says if you're signed after that, you can play in the final? Maybe. But they open up a window of opportunity here to say to teams, if you're in those semi-finals, if you get a player signed early, you can register them for your team. First time ever that anyone's been allowed any kind of player to play for two teams domestically in the same year in cup competitions. Well, the League Cup, I'm not sure when the FA Cup started doing this, but in the League Cup. And yet it's farcical because it's not an even bigger door being opened. I cannot, all this is for me, again, this just stinks of a team who are panicked by their season, petrified of Arsenal, and they're now bemoaning the rules of the game. And what I find funny, what I find almost ironic, is the same club, its ex-pros, its players, its manager, journalists, for years have been telling people, take accountability. It's all about how you play. Forget the rules, forget the refs, forget the balls, forget the weather. It's about how you play. It's funny how all of that has now gone out the window because their powers have slightly waned because of bad recruitment and the manager not being able to adapt to the changes in the Premier League. As ever, look, I want your views. I want your opinions on this. I'd love to know what you think and feel. Like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to see you all again very, very soon. Peace.